Connectra creates opportunities for people living with disabilities by providing information, resources, and programming geared towards greater inclusion and quality of life. Check out some of the programs we offer through our online learning platform, Connect Together, including our Service Mondays, where we highlight a local organization or initiative, Wednesday Chair Yoga with Bobbie Seale-Cobiskey, Thursday Adapted Fitness with Megan Williamson, Friday Rotating Dance Classes hosted by Janice Lawrence and Joanne Cuff, and other initiatives including presentations by the Disabled Independent Gardeners Association's Growable program and our Perspective series. Check out our updated programs calendar on our website, connectra.org, or find us on Facebook at Connectra Society.
Okay, Bobbie, you can start.
Thanks, Kassar. So good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to an adapted seated yoga practice. And so, as always, I'd like to begin the yoga practice. I'm just going to move in, put myself on gallery view. To begin the yoga practice with a centering practice. And so an invitation to find a comfortable sitting position. And so sit in a way that you feel the most at ease. It can be challenging for our nervous system to calm down if we're uncomfortable in our bodies. And then when you're ready, lift your shoulders up, back, and down. Relax your arms in your lap or by your side, wherever feels most comfortable for you. And then an invitation to take your hands to your heart center. And so palms open or palms together. So if this placement in your hands makes you lose your balance, choose another placement for your hands. And so we never forfeit balance to come into pose or movement. And then as ready, lift your heart to your hands, bow your head to your heart. And an invitation to take a moment to allow yourself to consciously enter into the present. Setting aside whatever concerns, worries you may have had before the yoga class for the duration, knowing that you can come back to that after class. And then as ready, relax your arms wherever feels most comfortable for you. And an invitation to shake your hands in front of you. And reaching up to the sky, we can imagine that we're waving to our ancestors, past, present, and future. And then coming forward a little, waving to our ancestors. Reaching up to the sky. And so I love to share the story about the beautiful woman I had in my class who lived to be well over 100 years old. We were doing this practice one morning and she said, I feel like my ancestors are waving back. And so just like you're shaking water off your hands, let your arms float down by your side. And then reaching up one more time as high as feels comfortable for you. And this time on your exhales, you lower your arms, make an audible sound. Oh. So at this time, if possible, I'd like you to find a space where you are supporting your own spine. Come away from the back of the chair now so you feel you're sitting forward on your sits bones. If you need or would like to back the chair for support, honor that. And so yoga meets us exactly where we are. And then an invitation now to ground through your sits bones. We notice where your bum and your thighs are in contact with your seat. Our belly is soft, spine is long. Lift your shoulders up, back, and down. Relax your arms in your lap or by your side, wherever feels most comfortable for you. Tuck your chin in slightly. So chin is parallel with the floor. So if it's helpful, you can place a finger or two on your chin. Imagine a turtle. If you'd like, feel free to close your eyes here or soften your gaze, so downward gaze. Allow your facial muscles to soften and release. Our attention moves inward. So notice the alignment of your knees, hips, ankles, shoulders over hips. Notice the breath. So allowing the breath to move your abdomen, if you'd like, and it's available to you, place one hand on your belly. And so on inhale, belly moves out. On exhale, belly moves in. Keeping one hand on your belly, take your other hand to your chest, to your heart center. And maybe notice the pattern of movement of your breath between your abdomen and your upper chest, your upper torso. And then see if you can begin to expand the breath. So making it just a little bit longer than it was when we began. And paying particular attention to the exhale. See if you can begin to lengthen your exhale. When we lengthen the exhale, it engages the relaxation response, allowing us to let go of holding, stress, and tension. So I'd like to encourage you, whenever possible, to come back to this deep, long, easeful breath. And so again, relaxing your arms by your side or wherever feels most comfortable for you. A little shake out. Wiggly fidgets. Do a little bum dance. And so from here, I'd like to come into a practice where we're going to rub our palms together. And so maybe giving your hands a little massage, your wrists. And then if you'd like, sweeping your hands up along your arms. And then when you're ready, I'd like to invite you to take that loving energy from your hands. Maybe place one hand on the back of your hand on your cheek. Maybe placing your hands at your heart center. And so when we place our hands on our heart center, it can actually trigger the parasympathetic response. So calming. And then when you're ready, rest your hands wherever, your arms, wherever feels most comfortable for you. And from here, we'll continue with a warm up. So I'd actually like to begin with our eyes today. So on inhale, as you're ready, look up. On exhale, look downwards. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, looking downwards. And so now if you'd like to add gentle neck movements to the eye movements. So an inhale, look up. So maybe your eyes meet where the ceiling meets the wall. and then looking downwards. So warming up our cervical spine. And then it's ready, bring your head back to center and then take one ear towards your shoulder. And then moving your head back and forth. So from side to side. That's ready. Bring your head back to neutral. And then turn a soft gaze, looking just past your shoulder. So only move your head as far as feels comfortable for you. And then as if you're nodding no, turn your head from side to side. And as ready, bring your head back to center. And so we've moved our neck or cervical spine through its range. And now we're going to continue these movements down along our spine. So this is a movement called cat and cow. So we're going to get into the thoracic, the upper area of our back. So as you're ready, draw your chest in. It's as if your sternum's moving to the back of your ribs. And then move your sternum forwards and up. And so as we continue this gentle movement, you might notice that as you round your shoulders, drawing your sternum in, that the hands naturally have a tendency to slide towards our knees. And on the inhale, as you lift apart the solar plexus, hands slide in towards our hips. And so an invitation to keep this gentle warm-up flowing in your own time and rhythm. And then it's ready, come on back to a neutral spine. Take a moment. And then from here, we're going to come into a side bend. So I'd like you to reach one hand towards the floor as if you're reaching to pick something up. So keep both sits bones on the chair, and you can hold on to the opposite side of the chair if you'd like. So imagine, if you'd like, if it's helpful, that you're seated between two panes of glass. So we want our shoulder lined up with shoulder, and then move from side to side. So it might feel good to inhale to one side, exhale to the other side. However, if you are congested or you have an obstruction, just breathe in whatever way you can. And so you might notice that as we warm up our spine, the movements become more easeful. We're able to go a little bit deeper. And then it's ready. Come on back to neutral spine. Take a moment. And from here, we'll come into a gentle twist. So I like to place my hand at the base of my spine. So we begin by, with an inhale, lengthening the spine, and then gently going into the twist. You turn one vertebrae at a time, beginning at the base of your spine. And that hand that's furthest away slides in towards our hip. And then continue the movement, the twist, moving from side to side. So this is a gentle twist. We're not going into our full range of motion. And then as ready, come on back to neutral spine. Take a moment. And I'd like you to notice, is your breath so long and smooth and easeful? You notice the effects of those movements in the spine. So moving on, let's tap our fingers. One more challenging, maybe tapping from your pinkies to your thumbs. And then reverse, thumbs to pinkies. And then as you're ready, push your hands away. So your arms can be as high or low as you like. And then draw your hands back. Push your hands away. Draw your hands back. So with this gentle movement, not only are we getting into all the joints in our arms, we are getting into that area around our shoulder blades. So it's like we're giving ourselves a little back massage. So push our hands away. Draw your hands back. Now, when you're ready, invitation to roll your wrists in one direction. Roll your wrists in the opposite direction. And so if you notice your mind gets distracted and wants to wander off, know that that's okay. It's the nature of our minds. If you notice, good for you. In a loving way, bring your awareness back to your breath and to your movements. And so now I'd like to invite you to slow the movements right down. And to maybe even take a look at your hands in appreciation. And then to imagine that you're moving your hands through water. And so from here, let's get into the elbow joints a little more. And so sitting up nice and tall, bend your elbows, palms face away, and release. Spiral your palms open, bend your elbows, palms face away, and release. And so now I want you to imagine you're riding a motorcycle. So flex and extend your wrists. And then move from side to side. Yeah. And give your arms a little shake. Oh. So before we move on from our upper limbs, let's go for our yoga swim. So we'll start freestyle. And of course, your arms can be as high or low as you like. And then how about backstroke? Whoosh. And breaststroke. And side stroke. Other side. And butterfly. Wow. Take a moment and feel your work. So no doubt you feel a little more energized. How's your breath? So moving on, let's repose. So I'd like you to ground through your feet, center and ground through the soles of your feet. And so we want to keep our connection with Mother Earth. And we tend to start losing that. Root down through your sits bones. Maybe notice where your bum and your thighs are in contact with your seat. You can do a little bum dance. Lengthen your spine. Lift your shoulders up, back, and down. Relax your arms in your lap or wherever feels most comfortable for you. And then chin in, parallel with the floor. And so from here, I'd like to come into a movement called finding our balance. So if you know balance is a challenge for you, make sure you have whatever device you need to keep you stable in your chair. And so let's begin by, you can take hold of the sides of the chair, maybe have your hands at your hips. And then we'll breathe in, lengthening the spine. And then hinging from the hips, come forward with a flat back. So this is not about seeing how far down you can go. You just come to that just right amount of effort and ease. And then rock back up. So an invitation to keep this gentle movement flowing for a few more breaths, as long as it feels comfortable for you. And noticing that sometimes when you come into a forward fold, our chin wants to jut up. So I'm going to invite you to tuck your chin in slightly. And it can be interesting to close your eyes as we practice these gentle movements. And then as ready, come on back up to a neutral spine. Arms by your side, take a moment. Notice how you feel. And so from here, if possible, bring your feet out a little wider than outer hip bone distance. And it's okay to have your toes turned out a little. Hands at your hips. And then let's circle our heart forward. And then circle back. So keep both sits bones on the chair. And as you begin to feel your lower back and your hips soften and release a little, see if you can go a little bit deeper. So shoulders move towards our knees. Of course, we're not going to come all the way down. And then as ready, reverse the direction. And then bring a gentle awareness to the space in front of you. Bring your awareness to the space beside you. Notice how that makes you feel. Bring a gentle awareness to the space above you. And especially an invitation to bring your awareness to the space behind you. And an invitation moving away from me to we, to trust that we are being supported. And then slowly make your way back to a neutral spine. And relax your arms wherever feels most comfortable for you. And take a moment to let your breast settle. Belly soften. And so moving on, sitting up nice and tall, I'd like to invite you to reach your arm up, in line with your shoulder. So if that feels a little too high, maybe back off a little. Turn your palm face up. With a soft bend in your elbow, extend your arm away from you. Bring your arm back center, palm face down, release. Other side, reach up, spiral your palm open, extend your arm away from you. On inhale, come back center, palm face down, release. So this time, when we practice bringing our arm out to the side, if it feels okay for your neck, I'd like you to turn your gaze, looking softly past your middle finger. And let's add a sound to the movement. And so the sound is shh on the exhale. And so Inhale, reach up, spiral your palm open. Exhale, shh. Inhale, come back center. Palm face down, release. Other side, reach up, spiral your palm open. Exhale, shh. Inhale, come back center. Palm face down, release. I'm just curious, can you hear the roosters in the background? Yeah. Good. So let's do this one more time. Reach up, spiral your palm open, taking your arm out to the side, making a shh sound. Inhale, come back center, palm face down, release. Other side, reach up, palm face up, moving with grace and ease. Inhale, come back center, palm face down, release. And a little shaking. And so let your breath settle. Maybe noticing any subtle sensations. Okay. So let's come into some of the movements of the spine. So I'd like to actually come into a side bend. And so take hold of the underside of your chair. Release your opposite arm by your side. Spiral your palm open. Soft bend in your elbow. Take your hand to your shoulder. Lengthen and then come into the side bend. So keep both sits bones on the chair and then turn your gaze down towards the floor to release your neck. And breathe into rib cage. And can you imagine breathing in below your rib cage? As ready, release your arm down, come back to a neutral spine. Take a moment and we'll come into the side bend on the other side. So you take hold of the underside of the chair, release your opposite arm by your side, spiral your palm open. Take your hand to your shoulder. So we'll lengthen and then come into the side bend. Turn your gaze looking down towards the floor if that feels okay for your neck. Breathe into your rib cage. Can you imagine breathing in below your rib cage? And then as ready, come out of the pose. And take a moment. And so the movements of the spine. So of course we know our spines matter. And so let's come into a twist. So for this version, and if possible, if you can bring your knees out a little further than outer hip bone distance. Take your hands together at the heart center. So we'll begin with an inhale and lengthen the spine, and then take your elbow point down to your thigh. Lift your opposite elbow up, and then turn your gaze looking up past your elbow. As ready, come back to a neutral spine. Inhale, lengthen your spine, and we'll come into it on the other side. So taking your elbow point down to your thigh, lift your opposite elbow up, turn your gaze up towards the sky. So you press into the palms of your hands. And then slowly come on back to a neutral spine. It's a little shake out. And again, take a moment and notice how's your breath and the subtle sensations. So let's rock and roll. We're going to move dynamically. So reaching your arms up on an inhale and then twist. Inhale, reach up and twist. Reach up and twist. One more time, reaching up to the sky and twist. And come on back to neutral spine. And so these side bends twist, pretty intense spinal movement. So we need to realign our spine. And we can do that with a seated forward fold. So an invitation to take hold of the underside of your chair. Sit up nice and tall. So you lengthen our spine and then hinging from the hips, rock forward with a flat back. So lead with the heart, not the head. And so coming forward about 20%. And then let your head hang slightly. So you might be nodding yes and no. And then breathe into your lower back. Or you might imagine that your lungs are in your lower back. So energy flows where thoughts go, where breath goes. And then it's ready, come out of the forward fold by pushing down through your inner heels. And placing your hands at your hips, come back up with a flat back. Nice. Okay. So from here, what shall we do? So I think let's come into practice called sun breath. So this is a gentle heart opener, a meditation on the heart. So take your hands into prayer at your heart center. So it might be palms together, palms open. If this placement of your hands makes you lose your balance, choose another placement for your hands. So it might be at your Buddha belly. And so it's ready. Inhale, extend your arms up and away. And then making soft breaths, which is good if you have arthritis in your hands. Take your hands back to your heart center or your Buddha belly. So inhale, extend your arms up and away. And soft breaths, taking your hands back to your heart center or your belly. So keeping this gentle heart opener flowing in your own time and rhythm. An invitation, if you'd like, to imagine the sun at your heart center. And on your inhales, as you extend your arms up and away, imagine the radiant light of the sun radiating out all around you. And then gather that light and bring it back inside. So it's a symbol of the light that's always inside us. Inhale. Now, so I'm on your exhale, making a humming sound. Inhale. So the humming sound, you might notice, lengthens our exhale. Inhale. Place one hand on your belly, the other on your heart center. And take a moment to maybe feel the rise and fall of your chest and your belly. Okay, we'll shake out. And so from here, I think I'd like to, what would I like to do? So I'm thinking, let's come into practice, release the tension in our face. So a little bit of face yoga. And so we're gonna make some nasty faces. And so start by opening your mouth wide. And relax. Open your mouth wide. This time, see if you can bring your lips over your teeth. And relax. And this time, see if you can pull all your muscles towards your nose. So you just put into a lemon. And relax. And then when you're ready, make a soft fist, take it up to your jaw and create resistance. So we hold a lot of tension in our jaw, sometimes taking that in from one day to the next. And other side. And then when you're ready, reach up and over, place one hand on the side of your head, and again, create resistance. Other side. And if possible, taking your hands to the base of your skull and then press your head gently against your hands. So if you're a wheelchair user and you have a headrest, it might feel good to press your head against your headrest. And release. And now an invitation to make a soft fist, bring it up to your third eye. So gentle pressure here. It can be calming for our nervous system. And release. Yes. So I think from here we'll transition into a practice called sun salutations. So sun salutations are heating, strengthening, a little bit fun. And so a reminder that if you're not doing the movement today, to visualize the movement. So feel as though you're doing it. That might be a nice starting point. So imagination is powerful. So let's begin in mountain pose. Sitting up nice and tall. Take your hands to your heart center. Reach up to the sky, gentle back arch. Hinging from the hips, you might take hold of the underside of your chair. Come forward with a flat back. Tuck your chin in slightly. Downward facing dog. Rest your forearms on your lap. Push down through your inner heels. It might be energetic pushing down. Lengthen your spine. Baby cobra. Lower. Lift your heart. Lift your solar plexus. Downward facing dog. Forearms on your lap. Push down through your inner heels. Lengthen your spine. Lift up through the crown of your head. And then when you're ready, come on back up. So it might be one hand on each knee or thigh. Back up. So you might be visualizing this next movement. And so we'll come into a lunge. So take your front leg under the front of the chair. Add your arm if you'd like. So the arm can reach up along your ear, maybe in goalposts. Float your arm down. Step your foot forward, hinging from the hips. Come forward with a flat back. So you take hold of the underside of the chair if you'd like. Forward full or downward facing dog. Rest your forearms on your lap. Push down through your inner heels. Lengthen your spine. Baby cobra. Lift your heart. Lift your solar plexus. Downward facing dog. Forearms resting on your lap. Push down through your inner heels. Come on back up into a lunge. So maybe visualizing. And taking your leg back underneath the front of the chair. Reach your arm up. Float your arm down. Step your foot forward, hinging from the hips. Come forward with a flat back. And I want you to scoop up that radiant light. Hands come together in prayer down through to the heart. So let's practice one more round. And so we'll start with mountain pose. Take your hands to your heart center. Reach up to the sky, gentle back arch. Hinging from the hips, come into a forward bend. Downward facing dog, forearms on your lap, push down through your inner heels. Baby cobra, lift your heart, lift your solar plexus. Downward facing dog, forearms on your lap, push down through your inner heels, lengthen your spine. Come on back up. So you might put one hand on each of your thigh, push yourself up. Come into the lunge. So opposite side, you can step that front leg under the front of the chair. Reach your arm up. Float your arm down. Step your foot forward, hinging from the hips. Scoop up that beautiful radiant light of the sun. And then maybe our hands come together in prayer down through to the heart. So let's come into one more round. Mountain pose. Take your hands to your heart center. Reach up to the sky, gentle back arch. Hinging from the hips, come into a forward fold. Downward facing dog, forearms on your lap, push down through the inner heels, lengthen your spine. Baby cobra, lower. Lift your heart, lift your solar plexus. Downward facing dog. Come on back up. So we'll come into the lunge on the other side. So step that front leg back under the front of the chair. Reach your arm up to your place. Float your arm down. Step your foot forward, hinging from the hips. Spiral your palms open. Reach up to the sky. Gentle back arch. And maybe your hands come together in prayer down through the heart. Place one hand on your Buddha belly, the other on your heart center, and take a rest. Okay. And so I'm just going to move in towards the iPad a little bit more. It's actually getting quite warm here. And so I thought today that I'd share a few breathing practices with you in anticipation of warm weather. And so one of the practices that we can do that's safe for everyone is called Sitali or Sitkari, depending on how you're able to do it. And so this is a cooling breath. And so I think we're going to come down off the mountain. And I'll invite you to find a comfortable sitting position. And so maybe lift your shoulders up, back and down. Then relax your arms in your lap or wherever feels most comfortable for you. And so the way we practice Sitali breath is an inhale through a rolled tongue. And then exhale. And so if you're not able to roll your tongue, and so there's no right or wrong, it's just how we're made, the alternative would be to inhale through your teeth slightly parted. So you might notice that cooling sensation. Okay. So here we go. We're sitting comfortably, but still nice and tall. Inhale, roll tongue or through your teeth slightly parted. Exhale. And you can add a little cat and cow movement to this too, if that feels good for you. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And now I'd like you to reach one hand across to your opposite knee or thigh. The other hand sits on top. And then turn your torso in that same direction. And we'll continue with the breathing exercise. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And now let's come to the opposite side. So if my cueing with the breath doesn't work for you, practice it in your own time and rhythm. So you reach your hand across your opposite near thigh, your other hand sits on top. Turn your torso in that same direction, and we'll continue. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then come on back center for a few more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And now allow your breath to come back to its natural rhythm. And I'd like you to notice if you felt a subtle shift in your energy. And so I think I'm going to turn my iPad so that I can move out of the sun a little bit. And so let's actually do another pranayama practice. So essentially pranayama means breath control. And so we can use our breath to cool, calm our nervous system or to energize. So at this point in the practice, the intention is to move into parasympathetic, so nice, calm place. And so this next yogic breathing technique, it's called 1-to-1 ratio. And the way we practice it is the inhale and the exhales are the same quality and duration. And so I'm going to cue you with the count of 3 on the inhale, count of 3 on the exhale. And so of course you're sitting comfortably. And so maybe start by taking a nice deep inhale through your nose unless you're congested. Exhale slowly. And then we'll begin. So inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. So if my count doesn't work for you, breathe in your own time and rhythm. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. And so let your breath come back to its natural rhythm. And so your natural rhythm, so you might observe the rise and fall of your chest and your belly. So come on, seated comfortably back in your chair for a short guided meditation and your final relaxation. So I'd like to invite you to find a comfortable sitting position. So you're sitting comfortably, however, still alert. And so maybe if you'd like, palms on your lap, face down. Draw your hands in towards your hip creases. And feel free to soften your gaze. So looking downwards or close your eyes, soften. And so breathing in, I know that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I'm breathing out. As my in-breath grows deep, my out-breath grows slow. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is a wonderful moment. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is a wonderful moment. So we'll sit and take a few breaths together with a gentle reminder. Breathing. And so come into whatever comfortable sitting position you'd like for your final relaxation. If you're a wheelchair user and you have the ability to recline, go for it. And it's an invitation to lift your shoulders up, back and down. And so soft, organic movement. So this is not a big scrunch up towards our ears. Essentially, we're allowing our shoulders to soften away from our ears. Close your eyes softly if that feels comfortable for you, or soften your gaze, looking downwards in front of you. Rest your hands, palms face up and down as desired. And so soft palms, soft Buddha belly, the area between our navel and our pubic bone. Quiet breath. Allow your breath to reflect the pose. Serenity pose. Relax your jaw. Unclench your teeth. And let there be a little space between your teeth. Soften your lower jaw. Soften around your temples. Soften the area between your eyebrows, wide forehead. Silently, if you like, on inhale, saying let. On exhale, go. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. If it's challenging to quiet the mind, placing your hands on our belly and bringing our awareness to our breath can be helpful. And so without changing anything, bring a gentle awareness back to your breath. And thank your body again. And so our bodies are the best home our mind will ever have. And now see if you can begin to deepen your inhale and lengthen your exhale. Now wiggle your fingers and toes, hands and feet, waking up. Rub the tips of your fingers with your thumbs if you'd like. And come on up seated comfortably to finish your yoga practice. Love the cooling breath. Oh, I'm so glad, Donna. So Donna says she loved the cooling breath. So hands at the heart if you'd like. Lift your heart to your hands. And I'd like to invite you to take a moment to honor yourself and each other for showing up for yoga practice today. And so thank you to Kausar, my amazing tech host, connector, and the Disability Foundation for providing this opportunity for us to come together for a yoga class. And so the teacher in me honors and appreciates the teacher in each of you. Have a lovely rest of the day, and I'm more than happy to hang out for a little bit to have conversation, feedback, if you'd like.
Bobbie, I'd like to say thank you, but I'd also like to make a minor suggestion.
Sure.
You, sometimes in the past, you've read poetry or something like that to help engage the imagination. I don't know about everybody else, but I really enjoy that when you do that.
Okay. It's funny. I was going to read one today and I decided not for whatever reason.
It's nice.
So Bobbie, my new tenant has moved in.
Oh, right on. Good. So we've been missing you.
Yeah, I know. I'm just good to be back.
Yeah, right on.
Settling down now.
Yeah, lovely to see you. I'm happy for you.
Thanks very much, Bobbie. It was
Thanks,
funny.
Bobbie.
When you were on your deck, I was thinking, what a lovely place to do yoga. And you then said, if your mind goes away, come back to the focus on your breath. Just as I was thinking, it was a lovely place.
Aw. Yeah, it's beautiful here today, for sure. So you can, Kausar was saying you can hear the bird.
Thank you, Bobbie.
Thanks.
Thank you. Nice to see all of you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Bobbie. I'll see you all next week.
Yeah, sounds great.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay. Bye, Janet. Bye, Mercedes.